Pick 3 Lottery Committee, these mirror numbers are nothing to play with. I want to share with you guys what we're missing, all right? Especially if you're using key boxes. I've taught on this a couple years back. I know there's some other cool content creators that are using these as well. And I want to share with you how these could help you guys when deciding if there's going to be a mirror repeat hit. So make sure you guys are paying attention to your state's patterns, okay? Let's start with the state of Idaho, okay? November 15th, midday, I believe it was, 470 was the hit. Now, I'm using 2 rundowns. I want to show you a comparison, because when you don't see certain information on one, the opposite of 1, 2, 3 is a 3, 6, 9. The numbers are working the same, but they're placed differently in the rows. But how they're placed is going to shock you, and it's going to make sure you keep your eyes open. So pay attention to what I'm about to share with you, okay? All right, so Idaho again had that hit of 470. In case we have some newbies that don't know how to count out the grids, I'll show you really quickly. You're going to add each of these numbers down the columns. I get a lot of questions. People ask me, well, how do you come up with 1, 2, 3, and 3, 6, 9? They're standard basic rundowns. We use them for Pick 3 Lottery so we can start tracking hot patterns and hot numbers, okay? They can be used in a variety of different ways, and there are more rundowns. Trust me when I tell you, okay? I tend to stick to the most basic ones because I have to track so many states in the U.S., and I like to see what our common patterns are, okay? So you're going to lock in that previous hit. Let's start counting down that first column. So the first column, we're going to add 1 all the way down. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. For your 2-digit numbers, only use your ones, place your 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So the number you start with should be the number you end with, okay? Then you would add 2 all the way down the second column, 3 all the way down the third column. Now, this is where you got to know mirror numbers. If you don't, you better start, okay? Because if you miss this, you might be missing on a hot hit. And now I have to tell you, I can't guarantee what I'm about to show you. I'm not going to guarantee you hits, wins. I'm not going to say this is going to happen every day and every time, but you have to pay attention to your rundowns, okay? I don't live in these states, and I caught this when I was studying, doing our predictions here in the membership. Make sure you guys join us over there, okay? If you guys want to get in with it, let's do it. But let's get back to this rundown. Notice 470, that was the previous hit. Now, we have what we call mirror numbers. They are the same number, they're just opposite. And sometimes we have what we call a repeat mirror, meaning the numbers are very similar that just came out, okay? Because they're the same, but they're opposite. So this is what I mean. Make sure you jot these down if you need them. For instance, if you see the number 0, it could also be the number 5. They're mirror numbers, okay? The number 1 could also be a number 6 and vice versa. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2, 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3, 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. Those are mirror numbers. Now, why is this so important? Why is this so important? Well, 470 came out that midday on the 15th, but by that evening, 547, which was its mirror, okay? So if you notice, the 4 stayed the same, the 7 stayed the same, but that 0 was a 5. So 470 are the exact mirrors to 547. Now, a lot of folks will say, well, which numbers do you know how to mirror? I like to use rundowns for this. And depending on the rundown you use, sometimes there are 317 rundowns, but this 1, 2, 3 struck out in 2 states. And I'm going to show you 2 different examples because I want you guys to win and pay attention. Now, I want you to pay attention to what we call a key box area. That's where our mirrors and our doubles cross, okay? Okay. If you notice here, pay attention to where the hit is. So I see a 70 here. I see a 7-0. If you look down, I see the numbers 9-3. If you cross those numbers, they're not the same numbers. Now, if you look here, this is your key box area. I'm going to go ahead and just, because I need y'all to make sure you're paying attention. Okay? Notice here the 7-0, you got a 5-0 and a 7-7 that crosses. This is from the actual previous hit. That's why rundowns can be so important. Now, sometimes people would just look here and stop, but make sure you're paying, you're looking at the bottom number too, and making sure you're looking up, okay? Our key boxes on the 1, 2, 3 fall on the right side, so make sure you're paying attention to that, okay? And again, your key box areas when doubles and mirrors cross. That's all that means, okay? So make sure you're paying close attention. They have another set here, okay? They got a 7-2-5-5, so you'll see those. The thing I want you to pay close attention to, especially where the previous hit was, because all they did, I know y'all see it, all they did was take the 7-0, okay, for a 7-0, that was the hit, but they also used 4-5-7. That's it. That's all they did. 4-5-7. That connects right there. Okay. You could have also, in case they did a different type of mirror, they might have mirrored it to a 9-7-5 or a 9-5-2. Keep it simple. When I tell y'all, I know y'all shaking your head like, I know I did not just miss that. I'm telling you, repeat mirrors are so hot. We're looking sometimes for the exact number to come out. Sometimes our states will do that. But if we don't know what mirrors are, we will miss these simple hits. So again, all they did was take the 4-7-0, look where the key box, the hit happens to be a part. That's the key. It has to be a part of the key boxes, meaning that back pair should be mirrored up some type of way or mirrored down depending on how you're looking at it. Okay, so again, those possibilities, 4-7-0 could have came back because it was part of a key box, or 4-5-7, right? 9-7-5 or 9-5-2. These could have been some possibilities, but guess what wind up hitting? The 5-4-7. This is how it hit like that. That's it. I was trying to figure out, I said, how did these states do this? Because when I'm looking at the exact mirrors, I would have just said 4-7-0 and 9-7-5, and I would have stopped. And if I would have went to the store and played it, I would have been like boo boo the fool, like, oh my gosh, I want to oh my gosh. Well, what did they use? I put it in a 1, 2, 3. I remember those key boxes, and I said, hold the fuck. We got some changes here. Now, the reason I want you to compare to the 3-6-9 when you're doing this, because sometimes you don't see it on the 1, 2, 3. We see it here, so we probably won't see it on the 3-6-9. So if you look at the 4-7-0, look down, you don't see a connected pair key box. If you look on top, you don't see it. So you know that you just compared. But I want to show you the next state. So far, so good. Hit that like, share this with another Pick 3 player. Tell them, hey, we don't have to miss our mirror hits anymore, okay? There's another way, man. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen in every state. And you have to play around with your rundowns. But if you're using key boxes, if you're familiar with them and you like the 1, 2, 3, check out the 3-6-9 and compare both. There could be something going on there, okay? Okay. All right, so on to the next state. Hit that like. We got Maryland. Ow. That way y'all Marylanders can stop crying. I'm just playing. No, seriously, y'all be crying. Anyways, let me show you another example of how this works. So again, we're talking about key box mirrors. Make sure you know what your mirror numbers are, because if you don't, you will totally not get this. And mirror numbers are just the same number, they're opposite, okay? Now, if you go back to Maryland, November 15th, midday, the hit was 206, okay? Now, you're going to look for your key boxes, all right? So our key boxes are where mirrors and doubles cross over. Okay, so I'm looking, I see 2249. I'm just going to highlight it. I need to see everything on here. And then I have a 4427. Okay, now you're going to get ready to see why I'm telling you to compare it to the 369. Okay, now look at the hit 206. Look at the back pair 06. Can you cross over in its mirrored form? No. If you look here, 206, the 83, can you cross over? No, there's no key box attached to that back pair. That means you got to what? Now you compare it to the 369. Again, I'm not telling you this is going to work all the time, but I do want you guys to be aware, because a lot of our states are coming up with mirrored hits. That's just what it is. Meaning it's almost similar to what just came out, and we just have to mirror a particular number. Okay? All right. Now we're going to look on the 369. Remember, 1, 2, 3, and 369, they're the same numbers, but the rows are placed differently. Okay? So you see it starts with 206, 206, but when you get to 329, notice that 329 is moved further down. They're just repositioning. And how this, when I tell you, the deeper you get into your games, you'll understand why you want to compare this sometimes. I ain't going to say no. My members, they know. They know. And I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. Now we're going to look for a key box on the 369. Notice 06. Look at this. 6605. That's a key box. Okay. But we're also going to look at its mirrors. Okay. So we're going to go 00 and 61. Those are key boxes. Okay. We're going to look at both for a reason. Okay. Now, so if I'm writing out some possibilities, I would go 206. I know people are like, wait, it just came out. We getting repeats. Be quiet. And then I would go 265. I would just grab that 2 and push it here. 265. But don't forget about your mirrors. Halfway down the rundown, our mirrors too. So just like we had 206, we had 701. So write that down, 701. But also what? 760. See how that changes things? Okay. This is why I want you to pay attention to mirrors. Because if we just stayed where the hit was, we would have been off. That's why I'm teaching you to look at both places. Don't do all this work for nothing. Okay. What hit, y'all? November 15th in the evening. 607. Yes, it did. And where was it? It wasn't near the previous hit, but it was near its mirrored part. So 760. Look how easy that was. So when you go and start comparing, pay attention. If your state is running this, make sure you let me know in the comments, okay? Some states may not do this. It's okay. But for those that do, start paying attention to your key boxes. That's where your doubles and mirrors. If they are part of that back pair going up or down, either one, start checking. And they may not use that. They may use something else. But still, those numbers should be in the same possible areas. That way you know what you need to look for. Isn't that cool? Isn't that nice? And the turnaround for both of these states. Notice this happened in 2 different states. They came one draw away. This came November 15th evening. This came November 15th evening. And this one used its original 1, 2, 3. This one we had to compare to 369. I wanted to show you both so you are well prepared. All right? Go ahead, hit that like. All right? Y'all want to support your girl. You appreciate what we've been throwing out. You've been picking up what we've been throwing down. Make sure you join our membership. We'd love to have you guys over there where we have our member-only live streams. And they getting longer. But I'm enjoying it. We got a lot of folks over there. But hey, there's room for more. But anyways, guys, I have to go. And I will see y'all on the next video. Make sure y'all share this. Bye.